Oh, hey there, and welcome back to... Oh, we're in vanilla. This must be another one of those special episodes. Let's get to it, I suppose. That's right, this is actually our 100th video on the channel, which just so happens to coincide with the 2-year anniversary. Since I made a vanilla episode for our 1000 subscriber special, I thought that this might be, like, I don't know, keeping with tradition. I might keep that idea alive. I'm not sure that's good fan service to do something that nobody seems to want, except for me, but well, I hope you'll forgive me for a little bit of self-indulgence. I'd love to resuscitate this series, especially as AOF 6 is kind of wrapping up, and I've never really done that much in vanilla, so this would be a good way for me to learn, like, redstone and building skills. But anyway, let's get stuck into this thing. There's two things that I want to do today. The first is survive. No. We've got our wings now, which is kind of a big deal. We got those last time. So we can probably put them to use, head out into the world and look for some of these new biomes that have been added since the last time we played. What, we last played this in like 1.19.4, I think. It's quite a while ago. And that'll kind of segue into the main thing that I want to do today, which is to build and hopefully finish a creeper farm down here under our base, which is why I'm just running around lighting the thing up and stealing the ores that I come across. And it's not going to be the most efficient farm or anything that anyone's ever built, but we don't really need anything too crazy. We just need a steady trickle of gunpowder while we're just like existing in and around our base. And that's basically the philosophy of all the farms we have in this world, which is like they just passively produce things for us over time and no need to AFK. Anyway, because of that, I've been spending quite an enormous amount of time. I mean, it's fun and I need the resources anyway, but I've been spending an enormous amount of time down here in the caves, lighting things up in order to increase the eventual drop rates in this farm. Back in the old school days when the world height only went down to 0, this kind of thing was much easier to do, but now it goes all the way to minus 64. So this has been a bit of a slog, which is why, and I hope you guys don't mind, it's why I've been employing the help of, oh, we're way out of, where even is our base? We've traveled way too far. Yeah, this is it. Which is why I've been employing the help of FreeCam here. Just to look for dark spots, head out there, light them up. We've still got plenty of dark spots, but yeah, the vast majority of stuff under our base here is looking pretty good. All right, that ought to do it, I reckon. Let's head off. I can never find the way out. Let's just head on back home and see how many rockets we have, and we can go on a bit of an adventure. We'll see if we can't track down some of these new biomes. That's actually a great trade. That's actually huge for us because that's the only way that we have to get black dye in this game. Seeing as we're unable to kill, well, actually for the moment, but because we're unable to kill regular old squishies, and wither flower farms kind of seem out of our capacity right now. It's not really the easiest thing to see with these shaders on, but you can see that we've already explored quite a bunch of the world here. I think that was 10,000 blocks in that direction, all on foot because we didn't have our wings yet when we did that. Hence all the funny lines and stuff, but have some sympathy. So if we were to instead maybe come down and explore, hey buddy, so if we were to instead maybe come down and explore some of these chunks, they haven't been explored yet, so they'll generate in new stuff for us, new terrain. These are all the rockets we have, 128. That's all we have to our name. I wasted them all on a big celebration last episode. And if we can find a crafting table, this is all the gunpowder we have on us, and that'll make this many rockets. Right? Do you see why we need this farm now? Yeah, gunpowder is also an essential part in making ourselves TNT, which we're going to want to make a lot of because that's going to be like the basis of a bunch of farms that I've got planned. And we're not really like super technical players, so don't really think we can justify doing any TNT duping or anything like that. There's that little ducky. All right. Some of these landmarks are starting to become a little bit familiar. Yeah, it seems everyone just comes out to a place like this with water and builds one of those giant Nembon designs for like general mob farms or gunpowder farms. And while we could do that, we don't really need the kind of drops that produces. Like, it's just me on this server, so even a trickle's going to be more than enough. But we'll see how efficient things are by the end, I guess. We've gone off grid. And this is that other ingredient that'll be helpful for us. All right, so what I need to do... So I think this is how I do it. Make a new map. Let's see if I can remember this properly. No, that's dupe in it. Maybe it's just regular paper. Map and paper. Yes. And we need to get this to 116. This should all be, hopefully, new terrain, so we should start seeing some of those new biomes. But yeah, it's been ages since we last played. Not since our 1,000 subscriber special way earlier in the year. I think that was like in May or something. And there's been heaps of updates to the game since then. They've added swamps, which we're on the lookout for, and cherry blossom trees, which I also want to get my hands on. Oh, this is a cool spot. This is a cool spot. They've got those new flowers and the new mobs, the sniffer, I think it's called. I mean, you guys all probably know this more than me. I've been busy playing AOF. They got new bamboo stuff you can build with. So yeah, I've just got the change log up here next to me. Hang-in signs. I saw we could change them earlier. I didn't know that we could also hang them. That's cool. More music discs. All right, epic. That's always cool. Everyone loves Minecraft music. Yeah, just a whole bunch of crazy stuff. So hopefully we can resuscitate this series and check that stuff out. Oh, I've been here. Whoa. I swear I've been... If not here, I've been to a very similar place. Still looking. Still struggling to find these new biomes. But in case you were wondering what gorgeous shaders these are, I probably haven't got the settings worked up perfect just yet. But this is complementary reimagine, and I've got it on a pretty good setting as well. Like usually on modded I have to put the settings way down because the game just can't keep up, but I think we're getting like a solid, yeah, basically a solid 60 frames per second now, which is really cool. And something which I didn't really bank on was how fast the durability wears out on this thing, so I'm really glad I got a spare pair. But that's probably going to catch up to us one day, and I probably won't repair it in time and we're going to lose an elytra, which would be tricky. From memory, the pink trees are kind of like high up. I don't know which biomes they spawn in though. But hopefully this won't take us too long because we got a big thing to build. I just need the building blocks to build it with. I have to admit, I really didn't think it would take this long, but I'm sure we'll come across them soon. Gotta stay optimistic, Kimbles. Remain optimistic. What happened to this town? Oh, this is a zombie villager town. They've all been converted or something. That's really cool. Today I learned in Minecraft. Here we go. Phase 1 of our operation is complete. God, this stuff is gorgeous. I mean, I'm not going to pretend I haven't seen this in other people's videos. Look at that view back there of the mountain. That's a great view. I just picked it up. I can just pick that up. Well, let's just get let's just get a stack of that. These trees will probably drop saplings, in addition to these cool particle effects that they drop. God, that wood is really tucked away in there. Alright, that ought to be more than enough to get us started back home. 27 saplings and a bunch of scrap. Now might also be a good time to swap out that elytra because I don't want to take any chances here and lose that. That's one thing ticked off our list. How does such a blocky world also be so beautiful? Okay, we're not likely to find mangrove swamps up in these snow mountains. So let's look elsewhere. I'm sure we're just around the corner. Any day now. Positive thinking. Any day now. Okay, regular swamps. Maybe that means we're close? Not it. But how good is it going to be when we finally hit it, huh? This is not as fun as I thought it'd be. Ugh. We're having no luck, but basically I have to just make a beeline straight for, what are we now, minus 2400. Basically for like around 0, I think. Somewhere around there in the nether we've got our kind of transportation system set up. Then we can go mend our elytras here because they're running dangerously low. Well. I don't want to push my luck, but look what we happen to find. One of these things, one of these Mushroom Island things. Which is great because as you guys all know, there's nothing hostile spawns here. And it's pretty close to like that 0-10,000 axis thing that we're looking for, which is somewhere over that way. But I'm thinking maybe it's here that we establish our portal to get back there, because this is a cool place to come to. Ah, there it is. I was like, what are these blackstone blocks doing here? And then, like, they don't go that way, but then if you look over here, we've already got a portal set up. That's cool. I was forward thinking. One day soon, this will all hopefully be like another minecart system. That's the plan anyway. That's the next big infrastructure thing I want to start working on. Okay, we got this. Nothing to worry about. Let's take care of business. Every time I come down here, I'm so terrified. This is the spider spawner. Cool. Not only can these ghasts, which are everywhere, not only do they destroy our safe passage, but on the exposed bits, we can get shot off by like a single skeleton and just ruin our day. Aha. Down we go. Yeah, you can see why we don't need spiders in our mob farm. This is all string. Spider eyes. It's a good setup, this one. I'm real happy with this setup. Okay, now we just stand here and wait for them to join us. This is it, right? These big things, this is it. I recognize that mud anywhere. Oh boy, okay. We finally found some. You can see those little green things. Not me, the green thing behind me hanging from that tree. So check it out. I was just about ready to go through these last few remaining maps and fill them in like this. Like right there, I can't indicate with it. You see how Mushroom Island, I was filling in this map, and right in the bottom corner, finally came across these things. And also you can see on the left there, there's some more pinky trees over yonder. So I'm so glad that's over. And we have 23. Is it it? Wow, I think that's actually, yeah, that's all the rockets we have as well. 23 rockets. So let's quickly grab some of this stuff. It's this, right? Yes. Gimme, gimme. I want this stuff. Are you one of them? You are one of them. Okay. So what we need are these propagules. These things. I don't, yeah, I'm not fully sure how they grow. Not 100% how they grow. It's been a while since I've done this, so I think you just plant them in mud. All right, so I probably need the mud as well. Muddy mangrove roots. Packed mud is mud and wheat. And how do we make mud itself? I think there's a way to make mud itself. But until we can do that ourselves, let's just grab up a bunch of this stuff here to help us with our little farm back home. Okay, that ought to do us, I reckon. What's that? More than a half a stack. 41, more than enough to get us started. These trees, oh my god, the wood loves to hide, just kind of deep in the recesses there, deep in the branches. So farming them's not going to be easy. Anyway, these things here are so cool. This mangrove roots, you can insta-mine it, basically. Well, basically. And waterlog it. I love that, that's really cool. Okay, so we've got our stuff. We've got enough of the mangrove propagules. We're going to use them to get a whole bunch of these mangrove logs. And we got the pink petals and the cherry saplings as well. And only 16 rockets left. Check out how small this mangrove swamp is. This is it. That's it. That's, out of all these areas that we searched, this is this little corner here is the extent of the mangrove swamp that we've seen. So anyway, let's head on back home and get working on this farm. Somebody help me. All right, back to the valley, back to work. By the way, guys, what do you make of the new microphone? I picked up something special in the Black Friday sales, and I'm pretty happy with it. Although I've only just kind of plugged it in and used the default settings. But the real test won't be until we upload it to YouTube and see what the compression does to it. But already I can tell just from my little bit of testing that it sounds way better than the previous mic. So hopefully this takes our game to the next level. Okay, that's probably enough of the mangrove stuff that we need for the build. We're definitely going to have to figure out a nicer way to do that later on. And I was a bit optimistic with the chests. We just filled up the one. You, come with me. Okay, so I've just dug out a little area here under our base. Come on, wet dog. Just down here. Where are you off to? I need you. And if we can just safely get down here. Hopefully this guy will zip down. There we are. Probably could have found an area that was already open, but instead I had to... I don't think there was any air pockets in this space. But anyway, we dug it out. Now we've got a couple of chests up there full of stone and other things. That will help, I guess, in a future build. Hopefully, either way, I caught up on some YouTube, so I'm happy. And this is where we're going to set up our creeper farm. But before we do anything, let me just quickly explain a few things first. So, like, as a basic principle, we need a farm that can move mobs from where they spawn to some place where they can be, let's say, processed, refined maybe. So mobs are going to spawn somewhere in a huge 128 block radius around the player, which is why we need to light up as many of these caves as we can. So there's not lots of spawn mobs just kind of chilling out somewhere in a dark spot, eating up all the mob cap. We want to control the mob cap as much as possible. Like, you know, we won't be able to 100% it, but near enough will be good enough. And we want those mobs to spawn as much as they can in this box here, which is right under our base. However, we need a way to move those mobs. So you can like move them with a piston. That's one way to do it. You could flush them with some water. That's another way you can get them moving. Or you could like lure them or scare them. So if they were a zombie villager, you could lure them in with a villager to go give a kiss. Or a creeper will run away from a cat. Those kinds of things. Now the piston idea, that seems a little bit brute force and crude. Flushing them with water, well, if you're going to do that, you may as well just build Nembon's design. It's a much superior farm, so if you're going to use the same techniques, why not just use the farm that's already created, right? And cats we don't do because I'm trying to play a nice guy in this world, trying to be the pacifist and not harm any of the passive mobs. So really all that leaves is minecarts. How many cats could a cat cart catch if a cat cart could catch cats? Well, let's find out with dogs. Okay, so down here we're going to have our farm, and every dirt block, although Endermen are probably going to come steal this. I'll replace this in a minute. But the dirt blocks represent where we want the mobs to spawn. So the problem is, for a minecart to pick up a mob, their hitboxes have to interact. A creeper is a little bit bigger than a wolf, but it's still not bigger than 1 block wide. Instead, the creeper's just going to kind of stand here in place, watch the cart go round and round forever. It might get a little bit dizzy, but it's not going to all of a sudden get picked up by the cart because the hitboxes don't collide. So we want a way to make one of these hitboxes bigger so that they collide. And I've got just the idea. Do I have any? And it just so happens that a boat has a hitbox that is big enough to spew over a single block. And when a cart picks that up, all of a sudden the hitbox of the cart is big enough to pick up nearby mobs. Aha. So now we have a way of collecting the creepers. And then we want to find a way to stop them looping around forever and enter into the next station for some processing. If we were to set up a tripwire like here to emit a redstone signal when something bigger than a block passes through here, it should twist this track and redirect it. Let's give this a go. I'm not sure that the wolf's going to be big enough for it. Okay, the wolf's too short. But we're not. Now when something taller than a single block goes through here, it'll set that trigger off and redirect whatever's riding the minecart towards the processing facility. Okay, so we're going to have to find a way to destroy the boat as the mob's riding it, and I just happen to have not enough iron. And you can do that with... I just started up a little farm up here. A little bit of lava. If you put lava in a cauldron, the hitbox of the boat will be big enough to like cross over, and it just drops the boat in the world. You can chill out, little man. Do I get burnt if I touch this? Yes. Okay, but we'll have a look at the mob processing part of this later. Let's first build like a minecart dispenser, and then we'll come back and go through it together. And if we put a boat in this guy and the minecart in here, then we just need to, what? We need to stop the water from flowing out with a gate. I'm not sure if we need 2 source water blocks or not, but let's just have it flowing, see how that works. Now when we activate the bottom dispenser, a boat gets placed nice and neatly up there on top, and then we activate a minecart. It picks it up and yeah, off it goes. With its humongous hitbox, ready to pick up anything along the way. Yeah, so that's the boat delivery system working. And I'm pretty happy with this design. Look, I'm not at all a technical Minecrafter. This is the first time I've it's the first time I've got into anything technical, really. I'm kind of new to this technical Minecraft stuff, but a beautiful soul over on the Technical Minecraft Discord, or TMC Discord, taught me about this lava in a cauldron trick intersecting with the boat hitbox to destroy it. So if you're out there, and excuse my pronunciation, thank you, ASDF12357896413. You really made me a happy frog. There probably is a way to compact this even further, but yeah, that's for other people to figure out. So the minecart's going to come through, boat will touch lava, be destroyed, be picked up by this hopper to get delivered back into that dispenser. And this is kind of a little bit wasteful, but we're going to snake the cart. When the minecart hits the cactus here, it'll get picked up by this hopper and snake its way around to a dropper, into another dropper, into a dispenser. Have I done that correctly? I think so. Okay, let's see if I can remember this properly. If we take a signal, let's get a brick down there. If we take a signal out of the bottom dropper here, so when the minecart finally gets delivered, it'll emit a redstone signal. So when the cart, do I have the cart? Oh, the cart's out there. But when the cart gets delivered, it'll have something in it and it'll emit a signal. That'll power this block, which will shoot the boat out of that dispenser. And then how will we do this? We'd go, it'll invert that torch, which will, yeah, that's it. So now when the boat's into the dispenser down the bottom there and the cart gets put in here, they get shot out. Okay. And I think this boat needs another hopper right there. Cool. Let's get a mob in there to test it out for real. Let's, yeah, there's some mobs down here waiting for us. Right there. Oh. If we can get this guy to follow us up here without the creeper come in as well. Probably should have been wearing my shield for this. Want to come play? If we can get it picked up by the minecart, it'll still probably continue to shoot at me, but there we go. It activated it. Things got recycled. All right, that's probably enough for that guy. All right, let's just build up a little pit to drop them into. Damn it. It just killed that guy. All right, this guy ought to do it. What you picked up, dropped off. And down you go for processing. Oh, I'm so happy with this. So glad it worked. All right, so I'll just get this printed up. I'm going to put, if I have the resources, I'm going to put 2 of these next to each other because they should fit side by side in a chunk, nice and neatly. Another 2 over here. And we definitely won't have the resources today, but also I've got space up above for another 4. So maybe we'll get these bottom 4 done as a bit of a time lapse. All right, so what was, I don't know, probably 10, 20 seconds for you guys was actually a couple of days for me. A couple of days of chipping away at this when I had the spare time. But I'm pretty happy with it. Had to tweak a few things. Like here, I had to change the hopper setup to kind of come this way. It goes into there. Let's some composter blocks down like that. Just because having a composter here breaks the cactus, so that's how it had to be. Please excuse the ugliness of this whole thing. Like it's so Ah, it's so clunky. I got big dreams for this place, but we just don't have the resources for it. I'm thinking I'll clear out some space along the sides and we'll have like mangrove trees and lots of water, a real swampy kind of vibe going on if we can, and maybe a mural of a what are they called, creeper, right there on the wall. But yeah, we're just way too light on resources. I won't bother demonstrating, but I've just got a little quick mud converter here. So it turns out you put, oh, we haven't got any. Well, you put water bottles in there and dirt in front of it and activate the dispenser and it turns dirt into mud, which is cool. That's how we got all this mud here. The only kind of mobs that can spawn in this space here are creepers because they're slightly shorter than 2 blocks tall. So we won't get the taller mobs. And also spiders can only spawn in a 3x3 area. So this should be creeper exclusive. If we knock out all these torches and then quickly escape here. Don't. No. What? I've made a spider farm? Alright, pause everything. Somehow I've made a spider farm? The wiki says, that's the new wiki as well, not the fandom one. The wiki says up to 4 spiders may spawn in a 3x1x3 space, centered on an opaque block. And you mean to tell me that minecarts count? Alright, well... If spiders spawn in here, they're just going to clog up the drop chute. I don't know what to do. And what the hell are you? You're a skeleton? Oh. Apparently I've made a general mob farm. Oh, that's okay. Let's put the boat in first. So boat goes in there. Cart goes there. Okay, at least the creepers are getting flushed. Oh. At least the creepers are getting drowned. I think I may have built a dud. This couldn't have gone any worse. I don't think the bats count towards the hostile mob cap, but yeah, those spiders definitely do. Sadly, I think that means we're gonna have to put carpet down and ruin this beautiful, like really reduce the number of spawning spots here. Okay, so I was banking on the idea that the rail would act similar to a carpet and that it would block all spawns within a 3x3 around it. So this rail would block spider spawns from here and there, and this rail would block them from there and there. That doesn't seem to be the case. So now we have to play some funny carpet pattern games. Fixable. This is fixable. How's it going, doggo? I think this is looking good. Those carts are just going to keep on doing circles. Yep, until something else comes in. And down here, hopefully we can do this without blowing the place up. They're just landing on some soul campfires there and dropping their goodies into these very cluttered chests. This is why you don't test in production. So, yeah, there's some problems with this design that has started to become really obvious. Okay, don't tell your friends about me. Back up. I think these are not the kind of mobs you want to be taking chances with. Okay, we have, say hello to Creeper Cart Farm 2.0 because I've had to change some things. Let's just reactivate this side. Yeah, so quite a few things have changed. I had to change the circuit at the drop-off station. Like, this is what it used to look like. You'd put something in the dropper down here. That would emit a signal, which would basically power this block and start like a little redstone circuit that would push items from the dropper all the way up and shoot it out of the dispenser. Let's just experiment here. Like this. But unfortunately, that didn't work for 2 of the 4 stations that we have set up here. This redstone torch here on 2 of them would just not flicker. It would just stay on the whole time. You see here it flickers? We need that flicker. Let's just clear that out. So we had to make a little bit of a redesign. A block on top of the redstone, some more dust up here, and this torch just gets put on the side there. Now, this new circuit is 100% reliable, thankfully, but it does work just a little bit different. It doesn't shoot items from the bottom to the top. Instead, what it does is it pushes items from the bottom to the middle, and when you put a new item in the bottom, let's just use an arrow, for instance, it'll move that repeater and shoot that out the front. So it moves from the bottom to the middle and the middle out the top. Let's just put that repeater back in, and there you go. All right, we can clear this up. That's cool. Now we have a 100% reliable setup here. The only thing is we have to have a cart in the middle hopper on every station. Big deal. That's just a little bit of iron. That doesn't cost too much. Oh, or that. Let's just get a little distance away from the farm so that those mobs start spawning in. And then we'll have a look down here in free cam to see how it works. Okay, here we go. Creeper gets picked up. And then now I've just added a piston to the delivery setup here to push him out of the water. So it's not 100% reliable on the water, just down there into a chute. So the piston now does the job of giving them a little nudge. Oh, this is perfect. Here we go. We've got 2 in the stream. They both get pushed out. This side, these 2, they're working perfectly, even with double creepers. This side, however, has been nothing but a headache. So I think what I might have to do is tear out the pickup and drop-off stations and flip them around, because at the moment they're a mirror image of the other one, where they come from this side and then they get delivered on the right, as opposed to this one, which comes from the right and the left. Oh, here we go. This is perfect. So what happens is when 2 creepers get picked up in the cart, there's not much space for them to get dropped off. So one of them is getting forced into like one of the blocks here on the side, and it's just suffocating to death, which not only reduces the drops, but the drops that do come out end up clogging up the system. It just gets picked up by one of these hoppers and goes into somewhere where it doesn't belong. Let's go have a look. So if we look at this dispenser down here, gunpowder. So the next time that the boat came through, the dispenser would likely shoot the gunpowder out. Okay, it's working now, yeah, but it would be 50-50. It dispensed gunpowder instead of a boat, and the minecart would get sent out by itself without a boat, and the whole system would just kind of come to a halt. Nothing would work. And that's not happening on this side because the space in which the mobs want to hop out on, they always want to jump out on the left, and thankfully here on the left we have, we got air blocks for them to go into, whereas on this side, no air blocks available, so... Oops, there one goes. So I think just flipping those 2 to be a copy as opposed to a mirror of the side that's working would resolve all this. And here we go. And this is what we have to show for it. Pretty happy with that. So let's just collect our winnings. And with that, it looks like we are not going to be running out of rockets anytime soon. Oh, you'll love to see it. So I'm pretty happy with this. Like, I'm really happy with how this turned out from a broken system into something that at least half works now. Most of all, I like that it's modular. So the same kind of stretch of spawnable space here and the pickup delivery system all fits within 2 chunks. We can put them side by side and we can stack them on top of each other. Once we do a little bit more tweaking to make sure that it's fully reliable, I'll stack them just a little bit higher and get even more drops out of it. Pretty happy with that. Oops. But mostly I like that this is a passive system, like nearly every other farm we have around the valley. We could be up here chopping trees or... Oh, looks like we got trouble. Better go take care of that. But yeah, we could be up there chopping trees or building a new house or whatever we're doing, and the gunpowder is just going to accumulate for us. Hopefully, I mean, once the bugs are squished without any intervention necessary. Do I think you should build this farm? Obviously... No? Why would you even? Are you insane? Just use like cats or dispensers flushing out water or something like that. This was mostly just an exercise for me to get a little bit better with redstone, to learn a thing or two, and to start messing about with carts. So yeah, don't build this, but if you do spot any flaws on how I can make this design just a little bit smoother, I'd love to hear it. Please let me know. Alright, that's about all the time we have for today, unfortunately. I hope you enjoyed the episode and this little foray back into vanilla land. Just do a little bit of bug testing, a little bit of bug squishing in between episodes. And next time, I want to ditch these wings all together and make a start on a minecart transportation network that's going to connect up all the spots around our world through the nether. And of course, I'll try to include some special... Where am I there? And of course, I'll try and include some special tweaks that you might not have seen before. All right, thanks so much for sticking around. Hope you enjoyed. I'll catch you in the next one.